The following segments are pre-recorded and sponsored by Longworth Productions.
Training nurses on Triad Today. Hello everyone, I'm Jim Longworth. Welcome to another edition of Triad Today, coming to you once again from the beautiful Senior Botanical Garden in Turnersville. We'll tell you more about them later on, and later on is when the roundtable shows up, and we will get into all sorts of controversial topics. But between now and then, some important topics and very wonderful people that you're going to hear from. So I hope you'll stay with us for the whole 30 minutes. Where we want to start is talking about working together. What a great theme. We should all think about that now. On my immediate right, our good friend Michael Blair, who's Director of Community Development for the Piedmont Triad Regional Council. He brought a special guest with him. I'm going to say new. He's not exactly new, almost new. City Manager of the Winston-Salem, Patrick Pate, is here. Good to see you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Michael, let me start with you. Let's just remind everybody very quickly what the mission of PTRC is.
Absolutely. Thank you. The mission of the PTRC is basically regionalism in general, and we work towards guiding the region towards more success and for bringing communities together.
Now, what's an example of how you might promote local governments, the goals of each? If you're helping so many municipalities, how do you help meet their goals?
We do that mainly through our Board of Delegates. We have 75 members on the Board of Delegates. It's a large meeting. And basically they share ideas. They talk about problems in their communities and are able to come up with different solutions, and we help with any local issues through a regional lens.
Right. Pat, what led you to want to have an interest in local government? Did you grow up in a family of folks that had worked in government before?
I grew up in a small community, and I had an uncle that had been a mayor, an uncle that had been a fire chief. So yes, I had a lot of folks that were encouraging me to be in this profession.
I knew there was a legacy thing there. What attracted you to Winston-Salem to take over this job as city manager?
Winston-Salem is such a great community with so many positive things going on. Outstanding downtown, great economics. We're doing a lot of regionalism. So it's just a great place to be, and I'm excited to be back in the state. Now,
it sounds like a really neat goal. We talk about regionalism, working together, but now how do you envision fostering that so it can really work in real life?
I have a background of working in Greensboro, High Point, and Winston-Salem in my past. And working with the Piedmont Triad Regional Commission, it's such a great area that we can really focus on all the great things that we bring together. Most people don't understand where the city boundaries or the county lines are.
Right.
They view the area as a whole. And so we need to bring it together as a whole and promote our whole communities, all our communities together to make it great.
Well, stepping away from regionalism for just a second, your specific goals. Give me a couple ideas, one or two things that you want to try to accomplish that are high on your list for the city.
The main things that we talk about all the time is we want to be an organization of choice for our employees, that people want to come to work for us, and we want to be a community of choice for our residents. We want to make sure people understand that when they come to Winston-Salem, they've come to a great place.
Right. Now, Michael, I see you nodding over there. Any final thoughts you might have on the importance of regionalism, the importance of how you at PTRC and everybody's trying to work with these localities?
Yeah, absolutely. I think regionalism is kind of a cornerstone of these creative solutions we're going to come up with. And we work with our local governments, and we're going to enjoy working with Pat and other local leaders to try to make the Piedmont Triad basically the best place for people to live in North Carolina.
Now, since Pat and I just met, Michael, if you don't mind, I want to circle back to more of a personal thing. I guess I should ask you, since this is the first time we met in person, before I end up the segment, what's gratifying to you about being in a position like this? Because you've worked in a lot of arenas. What's gratifying to you?
The best thing about being in local government in a position like mine is that you really get to see the impact you can make on the everyday lives of citizens there.
Right.
The trash is picked up, they can feel safe, they've got good roads to drive on. Those things really make an impact on people's ability to have a great life.
Absolutely. Up on screen, in case you want more information about what's going on with the city, you can go to the website cityofws.org. It's cityofws.org. And of course, I salute Matthew Doles and all the great folks and Michael at PTRC. And my thanks to them for being here and bringing Pat along. You can go to ptrc.org for more information about all the good work that organization does. Guys, thanks for all you do.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back after this.
Spartans are the teachers, artists, nurses, scientists, and leaders who build our communities.
Back now on Triad Today, I always like to talk about community service and focus on folks that are really engaged in it. And we couldn't have two finer examples than the ladies we have right now. Our good friend Ashton Fowler is with us, marketing manager from Modern Automotive Network. And her special guest is Katie Hall, chief marketing officer and vice president of development for the Arts Council of Winston-Salem. Good to see you, ladies.
Great to see you. Glad to be here.
Ashton, I'm going to start with you. You and your dad and the team at Modern, very active in communities that you serve. Why do you support something like the Arts Council?
Yeah, the Arts Council is really special to us. We have been involved with them for more than 10 years with our Spring Arts Extravaganza, and Modern is a big sponsor of that every year. And basically, we showcase artwork from all of the schools in the district and all ages of children. And this is just something really special that we do. Modern tries to focus on the youth in our community, and so we're really glad to be a part of the work that Arts Council does to give back to our diverse community.
I think that's great, and we'll give a plug to the extravaganza in just a second as well, but let me go to Katie. Just remind people, what's the mission of the Arts Council? What do y'all do?
Sure. Arts Council is the chief advocate of arts and culture for Winston-Salem and Forsyth County. And we have been doing this for about 75 years of lifting up the arts, whether that's in our school system and working with partners like Modern Automotive to ensure that there's access for education and the arts to come together, or working with great community partners. We have about 80 arts and cultural partners ranging from the opera to the symphony to authoring action and all sorts of things in between. You know,
back in the early 70s, I was in an opera I was an extra, and I didn't do it because I could sing. I did it because my girlfriend was in it. So that's how anyway. We'll just leave that in. That's not part of the segment. All right. Now, here's the thing, though. I don't want it to just slide by that you said 75 years. That's pretty important. Talk about the anniversary.
It is important. We are celebrating our 75th anniversary. We were born as a result of lots of great work across the community when the Junior League of Winston-Salem came together and put forth about $7,200 of seed money to make our Arts Council the first regional arts council in the nation. And so we have a long legacy, and we're celebrating that all year long with different community engagements and programs, and you can learn more about that on our website.
Absolutely. Now, a lot of folks, and I didn't realize this either, we always hear about, hey, the Arts Council supports the arts, and you maybe give grants to organizations and things. I didn't realize that you also own certain venues and things, right?
We do. Arts Council is a venue owner and operator, and we program things. And so our campus is made up of 3 theaters and 2 galleries. We have Milton Road Center for the Arts in downtown Winston-Salem, and that has Reynolds Place Theater and Mountcastle Forum. And we also have Haynes Brands Theater. And last year we saw about 670 events take place on campus with about 60,000 attendees for these ticketed events.
Oh my gosh, talking about growth over that 75 years, Now, why is it, let's circle back, Katie, how important is support from Ashton, her daddy, the team at Modern, and because we mentioned the extravaganza, how important is their support?
I mean, Modern Automotive has been a generous partner on the Modern Automotive Spring Arts Extravaganza for 10 years now, and they allow for us to totally shut down our entire campus and work with an important partner, Sawtooth School for Visual Art, which we share a campus with,
right,
to ensure that we have a full takeover. And so it's kind of a Monday to Saturday event, and their support enables us to do that, and at no cost to the school system.
I think that's great. Ashton, before we run out of time, we talked about community service. Let me just ask you personally, what does that mean to you? I mean, was this something that was instilled to you from your dad, or what?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, it's always been important in our family to be involved in the community. I was raised by my grandfather and my dad, and it's just been passed down for generations. And we've really focused on honing in our mission instead of being across the board. We really do try and focus on youth and underprivileged groups in our community.
Right.
So with the Spring Arts Extravaganza and the arts in the youth, it just went hand in hand. So it made sense for us completely.
I think that's great. Up on screen, intothearts.org is a website you can check out for more information that Katie was talking about. And please go to modernauto.com for all sorts of information. There are dealerships all over the area. which you all know, everybody knows that name. And Ashton, I appreciate all that you do. And Katie, congratulations on the anniversary.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, ladies. We'll be right back after this. Hi, I'm Jim Longworth, reminding you that Triad Today is now streaming on WFMY Plus, available free on Roku and Amazon Fire TV. Back now on Triad Today, and I'm always glad when some of the good folks from UNCG can drop by, not just because I'm a graduate. Of course, they don't claim me, but I did graduate too. The whole crew here, TJ and Melissa, we're all UNCG Spartans. And we welcome a very special Spartan, Deborah Barksdale, Dean of the UNCG School of Nursing. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
You all received a special grant from the UNC system recently. Now, how much was it for, and where did it come? Where did it come from, that money?
We received $2.4 million from the UNC system, and they received the funding, as I understand it, from Medicaid expansion funds.
Okay.
I think they received about $40 million overall, and requested proposals from UNC system nursing schools.
Isn't that great?
Absolutely.
Now, why is this funding important, not just for UNCG, but for people throughout North Carolina?
As you probably know, there is a severe nursing shortage that's predicted to get worse. By 2032, we expect that North Carolina will be somewhere around 15,000 nurses short, and that's from data from the Shepp Center. And so it is really critical that we have nurses, because when you go to the hospital or I go to the hospital, other nurses are everywhere. We want to make sure that there are people there to give us really good care.
What can we, give me examples, something we can do to alleviate the shortage and increase the nursing workforce? What are you doing to help with that?
Well, one thing, there's been a shortage of faculty. So we're going to use our funds to help expand our faculty so that we can accept or enroll more students in nursing. At UNCG in particular, we turn away somewhere around 100, 120 students every year who apply that we cannot accept into our program.
I didn't know that.
Yes. And
with all that shortage and you're having to turn people away.
Yeah, and faculty is an issue, other resources like support, clinical sites, but although we have really strong partnerships with Cone and Navan and now even Atrium Health, so we're alleviating that obstacle as well.
Right. I tell you that, and why should, if somebody's interested in this and say, okay, now I want to go into nursing, why should they choose UNCG? I know we don't do commercials on this show, but if you were doing one, I mean, why should they come?
Because UNCG is described as this hidden gem and it really is a gem. I think in our School of Nursing, not only do you get a quality education, we have a high NCLEX pass rate, so our graduates are going to become licensed. But also, I like to think that we mix we're professional, but we're personal. So we take care of our students, and I've been at 5 other universities. It's a relationship like I've not seen. Like even I as dean, my students know me. Yeah. And they come talk to me, and they test me on their names usually, which I can't remember. but it's a personal, hands-on method that I have not seen.
I'm glad you mentioned the phrase hands-on, because I was going to ask you before time got away from us. The nurses really do get some hands-on training, right?
They get lots of hands-on training. We have state-of-the-art facilities in this new building. We have many labs. We have the most sophisticated equipment you can imagine, including virtual reality, and we're also doing lots in AI.
Yeah, I think that's great. Now, up on screen, I want to put something up here. Nursing.uncg.edu is a specific website. You can also go to the general website, uncg.edu. Let's remind folks, though, before time gets away from us, what led you to a career in nursing yourself?
I was inspired by Julia, the show with Diane Carroll.
I remember that. I did a show with her one
Yes,
time. Yeah.
and see, I'm from the country. I'm from rural Virginia, and we didn't have much, and there wasn't much to do or see, but Julia really inspired me. And
Diane Carroll, fine lady. Fine
Yes.
lady. Now, of course, one thing that baffled me is you went to like UVA, Penn, Michigan, now UNCG. What happens if they get in like a tournament and they're playing each other? Who are you going to pull for?
I try to stay neutral.
Oh, spoken like a true angel of mercy. Deborah, thanks for all you're doing.
Thank you.
It's an important work that you're doing to try to get more nurses out here and train them. Thanks so much. We'll be right back after this.
North Carolina's economy is growing, bringing new businesses and opportunities. The need for electricity is growing too. At Duke Energy, we're meeting the challenge, providing even more electricity that's cleaner, reliable, and that stays affordable. We're getting out of coal and reinvesting in our communities with a diverse, balanced mix of energy sources and making targeted upgrades to the grid so that North Carolina can thrive in a smarter energy future.
Back now on Triad Today, and I'm excited about having these three gentlemen with me. Two of our good friends have been on the show many times before, David Daggett, Griff Schuler, attorneys with Daggett Schuler, and they have brought along a special guest, the mayor of Clemens, Mike Rogers, and we appreciate all three of you guys being here. I'm going to start with David. Well, before I get to David, Mayor, how long have you been mayor? What was the first year you went in?
Well, the first year I went in was 2011 as a write-in candidate as a council member. And this is my second term as mayor of the Village of Clemens.
Write-in candidate. So folks at home, just remember that. You've got it's your right to vote in all these elections, and you can write people in. All right, David, let me start with you. Let's remind folks of your connection to triathlons and tell us about the big event we're going to do today.
Well, I've been an avid triathlete for a long time. We believe I'm the only person in the world who's done triathlons every year for 43 consecutive years.
Wow.
So back in 2016, one of my very dear friends who I literally traveled the world with racing, Richard Smiley, died of brain cancer. A couple years later, the memory kind of fades, but mine hadn't. At that point in time, we had no triathlons locally.
That's right.
And so wanted to start an event. So we started the Smiley Triathlon.
Right.
In honor of Richard Smiley. Make me tear up.
No, I think that's
And,
great. And we'll put up on screen in just a few minutes. We'll talk about when it is. It's later in
So we reached out to the Clemens West neighborhood to host it, which Mayor Rogers actually lives in that neighborhood.
Right.
They've been tremendous supporters, and it's been great for us. And I think it's been great for Clemens.
Absolutely. Mayor, go ahead and piggyback on that. What's so special about the Clemens West area?
Oh, Clemens West is a wonderful neighborhood. When we first moved out there 32 years ago, we were riding down the road and there's white fence going down the road and there's a swimming pool. My son was hanging out the window. We're going to live here, Dad. And I thought, well, that settles that. We know where we're going to live.
Yeah, I did a similar thing with my parents about 40 years ago, but they just left me at the place and went on to the next location. Griff, we're going to, in a minute, like I said, I'm going to put up on screen all the great stuff that's going to be at the big event coming up. One of them is like a kids event. So I was thinking about you guys. You and David have done a lot for kids over the years. Why do you support something like this? Why is it so important?
Well, through David's leadership, this weekend is special because you have the Smiley Triathlon on Sunday for the adults, but on Saturday is the Kids for Kids Triathlon. And the main focus of that is to introduce triathlons to kids in a very safe environment. Obviously, for David and me and Daggett Schuler, we're all about kids and youth, and in particular, the health of youth. And being able to introduce them to triathlons in a very safe environment with a lot of great volunteers to make it a very fun event for them is really special.
Mayor, I'm just wondering, I saw an email, I guess it was either from David or Griff, something about a special proclamation that you guys did?
Yes, I read a proclamation recently at the council meeting and supporting the Smiley Triathlon Festival.
That's great.
Which is a great event in Clemens, and it's a community event. We have over 200 volunteers for the triathlon and over 750 athletes participate in it. And it's a wonderful event. And we're so blessed to have David Daggett come in here and put that on.
Hey, athletes are asking me for hotel rooms this year. We have athletes from around the Southeast. We have a family coming from Canada to do our races.
Now, I want to do this before I run out of time because I'm running my mouth here. Up on the screen, Smiley Triathlon Festival. The Kids for Kids, as Griff was saying, that's on July 27th. And then the Smiley Sprint Triathlon's on July 28th. Clemens West Neighborhood, the website is smileytriathlonfestival.com, where you can check that out. And also hope you'll visit daggettschulerlaw.com or call the guys if you should need them, 724-1234. David, good for everybody. Can everybody come out?
Yeah, and the mayor and I are wearing finisher medals. I gave him the kids medal. I've got the adult medal, but these are very high quality, very nice. We give everybody a championship experience.
Man, you got a lot of good stuff. Water bottles, so people can get all this stuff. Will there be refreshments and stuff out there?
Yes, we have a beverage sponsor, food sponsors. It's going to be great.
And finish line, Daggett Schuler team will be there welcoming all the kids and all the adults.
And if David doesn't win, for example, I will write in his name in honor of the mayor. Mayor, thanks for doing this.
Well, thank you for inviting me. It's an honor to be here.
All right. We'll be right back after this. Hi, I'm Jim Longworth, reminding you to catch my column Longworth at Large and Yes Weekly every week. It's available throughout the Triad, or you can go online, yesweekly.com. Back now on Triad Today, just about time for the roundtable with a quick shout out to our good friends here at Senior Botanical Garden in Kernersville, and a congratulations because the garden won Yes Weekly's Best of the Triad category in Best Wedding Location. So guys, if we all get remarried or something, we'll just do it here, because they won it. All right.
Talk to Keith.
Yeah, that's right. All right, first topic. Following complaints by the Freedom from Religious Foundation, the Winston-Salem-Forsyth County School Board will no longer open its meetings with a non-secular prayer. You okay with this decision, or is it just a case of giving in to political correctness? And before I get the answer, I forgot to say, Ogie Overman, David Daggett, Keith Cranberry. This, for the record.
Just for the record.
For the archival record. Okay, so you okay with this decision, non-secular prayer?
It seems innocent enough, but even a non-secular prayer is still a prayer. I'm kind of ambivalent about it. I don't really care one way or another.
They're not even going to do non-secular prayer. Is this political correctness, or are you okay with that? No prayer.
I like prayers. I think they should be as ecumenical as possible. But I like prayer meetings.
Keith.
Non-secular prayer means that it's not any certain religion, and I don't see anything wrong with that.
Right, but they're saying they don't even want those.
They should. Somebody's praying to somebody. It doesn't mean whoever, but somebody's praying to somebody.
Yeah.
Believe me.
Yeah, I was praying for David when he was competing in those triathlons.
I was praying for Ogie and that beautiful hat he had.
That's right.
I need that. I need that in my life.
The National Republican Party platform calls for, quote, universal school choice, so that parents can choose which school they want their child to go to and perhaps even have the right to control curriculum. You have a problem with that, Ogie?
We're doomed. We're just doomed.
Don't like it.
Oh, it's horrible. And they're getting to controlling curriculum. That's the nut right there.
Right. David.
Well, I think that will become a discombobulated mess.
Right.
There's no way to administer that and to do that. But the bigger issue is that it's discriminatory and it's separating the haves from the have-nots, and that's what's behind that.
Segregation 2.0.
I agree.
Wow, that's pretty powerful.
And then I think it's terrible.
All right. Last month, authorities in Parkland, Florida demolished the high school where a mass murder occurred in 2018. We all remember that tragedy. No doubt the community doesn't want to constantly be reminded of it, but the school was not in disrepair or anything. Are you okay with raising a building just because something bad happened there? Ogie.
Well, in this case, I can kind of see it, Jim. If we couldn't do it to every school shooting, but that one and Columbine and the one in Texas kind of stand out as really just heinous.
David?
Yeah, In general, I'm not in favor of doing that, but this situation, this sticks out as a little more heinous is a good word, and maybe it's proper in this limited situation.
Keith, you okay with tearing the school down just because it's bad memories?
No, if you go to South Central and some of these areas, they got shootings, way more killings than that. Nobody's tearing down their school.
Right. Plus, yeah, I think well, I don't want to get into that, but you're right. I agree with Keith. A number of states, including Alabama, Colorado, and Texas, are now allowing grocery stores to install vending machines that sell ammunition. Are you okay with this, guys? And would you like to see stores in North Carolina offer those ammo vending machines? Ogie.
As I was saying, we're doomed.
Don't like them.
Pitiful, Jim. I mean, we're going the wrong way.
David.
Yeah, what will they come up with next? No, I'm very much against that.
Ammo vending machines, Keith.
Are they going to have gun vending machines as well?
Probably eventually.
Yeah, eventually.
I mean, think about that.
All right. You were the one that said if we just got rid of all the ammo, that would solve the problem. Didn't you say that once?
But we're not. You can't get rid of all the ammo. You can't get rid of all the guns. So what are we going to do?
All right. Recently, there have been complaints of fundraising workers being rude and aggressive to passersby in downtown Greensboro and Winston-Salem. Probably happens in some other cities too. Should Triad cities or all cities ban solicitation of any kind on public streets? Ogie.
No, I mean, they're going to have to do something about panhandling in Hamburger Square in Greensboro.
Right.
They really are. And there's a lot of solicitation. I've talked to people down there soliciting. I'll strike up conversation. I've never seen anybody being aggressive, but the panhandlers are.
Right.
It's out of control.
David, should we just ban all the solicitation on public streets?
Absolutely not. Should they be required to operate within boundaries of decency and respect? Absolutely.
Keith, you shouldn't ban that. I think it's free speech. It's your right as a citizen. And I don't think you should be regulating something like that.
Plus, you've got Salvation Army, Girl Scouts, really good groups.
We've agreed twice so far.
All right.
I know it, man. What's going on today?
Very quickly, a Nashville police officer was fired and arrested last month for appearing in an online adult video while on duty. Now, it's okay for him to be fired, but he's also charged with felony official misconduct. Very quickly, guys, isn't it enough just to fire somebody for that? Why do you have to arrest them? Ogie.
He couldn't wait till he got off duty.
No, couldn't wait.
Couldn't wait.
He couldn't wait. David, do you arrest him or just fire him?
If it's a crime, it's a crime, and you pursue it.
Keith.
Man, that's a great term for Call of Duty, huh? I mean, no, they shouldn't have arrested him. I mean, come on,
just
guys.
Fire him. Just fire him.
Just fire him. They shouldn't arrest him.
Finally, the Tuscany region is offering $30,000 to anyone who moves to one of its villages in the heart of wine country. Guys, would you move to Italy for $30,000, Ogie? Depending on the outcome of the election. Is that?
I think that's got something to do with it, Jim. I've seen 3 things on Facebook from 3 different countries inviting people to move there. I've seen it
David,
3 times.
You and Keith are world travelers. Would you move for $30,000?
I would not.
Would not move.
I think our country's the best there is, and we got an obligation to keep working to make it that way.
Keith, would you move to Italy for $30,000?
Well, I'm such a world traveler, man, that moving to Italy would just be a downgrade for me. So I'm going to have to, for $30,000, I'm going to have to say no.
That's
we
right.
go visit.
But
downgrade.
$1 million? Absolutely.
Maybe $1 million.
30,000?
All right.
Where would what would I eat? Where would I move?
I don't know. Well, that's all the time we have. Oh, except for this. Last month, this is unbelievable. Last month, 23 sets of identical twins. Okay, that's 46 kids. 23 sets of identical twins graduated from the same high school on the same day. I feel like they're all my children, said the handsome principal. Funny you should mention that, said the moms. I don't know what that meant.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, for all of us here, I'm Jim Longworth. We'll see you next week.